And we're here, YouTube. The finale of Noragami Aragoto, episode 13. What should I say? This episode was somewhat funny and a little bit amazing. It's sad to me. I tell you guys at the end, but obviously, everybody's back at I believe the Bisu's place, and obviously, you know, we start off with seeing like Yato walk with a boy, which is a little boy, and I'm like, Yato got a son? I'm like, it can't be. Guys can't have sons, can they? So obviously, they're walking. Excuse me. And they walk in the alley, and he tell the boy to tie his shoelaces. He said he keeps trying, so Yato ties it. Pretty cute. But then it kind of go back to what in the beginning where Yuki and Hiyori's talking, and then they just look up and seeing some guy in a suit run off with a little kid, and they just look like, what the hell? So then we see Kazuma and um, Bishamon asks, like, have you seen Yato? He's out of his room, and we're missing Ibisu. And Kazuma's like, plus my room's been totally trashed, so it's kind of funny because then it switches the scene to no. At first, they were like, oh, so that's who that was. Hiyori and basically Yuki said. So then it switched to the scene where it's Yato and obviously baby Ibisu as a little boy. They're at this diner where Yato promised, he'll go to, yeah, he'll go with Ibisu after they get out of the underworld. But obviously that plan went kind of wrong, so Yato's there and says, Ibisu, order up, anything you want. Big brother Kazuma is paying, so obviously he took Kazuma's wallet, so funny. So they get their food, and baby Ibisu likes it, he loves it, and then he started talking and asking questions about the old him. And then Yato's like, yeah, we fought. And then he's like, you're like a god of war. So me fighting you must have been a cool thing, huh? And then he kind of got sad with like, so I heard the gods, the heavens executed the old me. I must have been a bad guy. And Yato clearly gets angry at that because he said, no, you're not. You was way better person than me, than anybody else. So Yato gets a bit emotional, then it flashback to when Ibisu got hit with the pacification ring, I assume. So he's like holding Ibisu, like, you better not die on me. And then Ibisu just kind of like exploded. And that is like the most craziest thing. I thought he was just gonna pass away and like disappear, but he exploded, and I'm like in Yato's hand, so that's obviously the scarring moment for Yato. So Yato tells Ibisu that he was a good man before, and he never knew any other Ibisu. So that was a touching moment, and then basically it was just the fact that Ibisu basically had people there, asked Bishamon, Kazuma if it was alright for this old man to stay. Because, the gods didn't want him as his exemplar anymore, so he chose his old regalia as his exemplar. His same regalia, I guess. The one that was the jacket. So, with that said, they said, yeah. And he said, thank you, Mr. Crazy Chick. And Bishamon's like, where did you get that name from? And, he's like, Mr. Yato told me. So it's kind of funny there. So this episode did have its funny moments, but later on we see Lady Kofuku, I believe her name, and her regalia talk. And, her regalia kind of misses Yato. He hasn't been home, and, he's like, that Yato could at least, act like he can be here. He don't pay rent. he could eat the food we make him. He can make, sleep there. And that's just a sign of him saying he miss him. Because Kafuku's like, yeah, I've seen you go in his room, change his bed like 50 times, look out the window. You miss him too. So obviously, Yato's going through something, just haven't been around anybody. So he asked Yuki to, come with him. They walk to the bridge, and what's crazy, Yuki's like, you gotta talk and talk. And Yato opens up a bit to Yuki, and he's like, all my life, based all my past, I've been killing people, even recently. And Yuki, like, kind of got like a what? Like a what face? Like, why? And he says, I don't want to do that anymore. He says he want to be a god of good. He want to be somebody that remembers, somebody like Ibisu. And we can see how right there how much Ibisu inspired him to be a better person. So Yato said, Yuki's just listening to him. And then Yato continued talking and stopped. Obviously, we see the drip in the water by the bridge, so you know what that means. Nora, she appeared and just like called him by his real name, Yobuko, and he's like, you really left me down there. But it's okay, you got the job done. Father will be happy. And, it's just like something sad, and it's just like Yato has to let go of his past to move on with his future. And Yato realized that. He tells her like, you never like, you still have that same smile. No matter who cried, bones crushed, or anything happened, you have that same smile. And she said, we're meant to be together. And then Yuki tried to say something, and then she went on like, do you know about how what the real color of blood is? Do you know how bones crunching sounds, how people cry? And no, you do not. She's like, you can never carry Yato's burden. And that right there was kind of like a shot to Yuki and kind of hurted him. But at the same time, Yato was like, I want to do something different. And he basically released Nora, which was crazy because he released her. Her name was what? Hiyori? Hiyori? Something close to H, I believe. And she was shocked just as much as anybody. And then, after he released her, she disappeared. And he turned to Yato and said he wanted to be one of the 7 gods of fortune. And, asked Yuki what did he have to do. And Yuki says basically, keep doing what you're doing. You're doing good things by just killing phantoms and helping people. You'll get there eventually. And he'll be right there as an exemplar to direct him on the right path. So, my thoughts on this finale of an episode is a goddamn A+. Like, the touching moment with Ibisu was good. The funny moments with Bishamon, Yato sneaking out Ibisu. The touching part with Yuki and Yato, I applaud both of them because they both grew. Yuki learned to trust Yato. Yato learned to trust Yuki because he's his blessed vessel now. So it's definitely like a trusting moment there now. And obviously Hiyori was like watching them, and in the background just smiling at them. And then obviously it was a storm there, so he said, "Let's go." And he went to kill phantoms. Cheesy but overall was a good anime. And obviously, I don't know if there's going to be another Noragami. That's the craziest part because this definitely make a top 10. I'll automatically say Noragami is going to make it in my top 10 list. You guys will get the December 31st video. But what number will it be? I won't tell you, but this will make my top 10. And overall, I give this anime an A+. Like, an A+. Like, there's no doubt about it. It's through first episode through 13 was a fucking masterpiece. Like, I can't remember what episode I really didn't like. There is none. So, obviously, if you're not watching Noragami, I really, really recommend you to watch that. But first, start with the first season, obviously. Um, is the Noragami Aragoto better than the first season? I would say yes. I would say yes, but I would say the fighting wise, no. The only fighting part I can like really remember is when Bishamon and Yato was fighting, which everybody knew that was going to happen. But the Yato versus the other guy, the Calamity, in the first season, that fight was a way better fight. But with that said, YouTube, Noragami is over. I'm sad. If you watch this, if you were watching it now, let me know the thoughts on this anime in the comments below. Peace out.